good morning.
Good morning.
I like that. First and foremost, give a shout out to Coach Cooley, guys, for allowing me to come up here. So, in short, guys, I was driving up here and I was like, what am I going to say to this group? Because, you know, a lot of us, we have dreams of being successful in the sport. We want to be good. We want to be winners. And I was like, well, man, I didn't win a state title as a coach yet. I was decent in high school. I ran 228 in 1,000. It was all right. I was Class C champion in 1996. But to make a long story short, I said, you know what? The topic today was going to be finding motivation. And I think that's imperative from you. If you are Sean K, as good as Sean Gilligan, down to the 7th man on your team. I think it's very important that, and I'm speaking to you, the 4th, the 5th man, the 6th man, the 7th man, because there's different levels of motivation. We have your intrinsic motivation and your extrinsic. Someone like, per se, I'll use Sean as an example. Arlington Catholic is not like, they're not a powerhouse. Sean's team is not going to win the state title this year. However, Sean individually is motivated to be one of the best runners in the state. Let's flip it to mascot. Last year, you guys as a team were motivated to shock the world, and you guys shocked the world. You punched your ticket to Allstate, so clap it up for them. But really, girls, boys, motivation, I'm just going to be very transparent and be an open book. I believe it starts from within. It doesn't come from your coach. It comes from your parents. They do inspire you, but as a coach, it comes from you. You are the one. It comes from within. So how do we become better runners? For me, I believe it starts from within. So what is your first relationship before you meet your coach? The very first relationship you have in life is mom and dad. Those are the first people. Like, you came out the womb, it was your mom. It was your dad giving you unconditional love. That is the first relationship. Become a better person. How do you become a better person? Let's start with your relationship. What's your relationship with your mother and father? Can you improve that relationship? Guys, send mom a text. Mom, I'm having so much fun at camp, because everyone knows mom's probably up on that. What are they doing? Is he getting sleep? Are they hungry? Send your mom a text. Mom, I'm having a great time. Mom, thank you. Do you have siblings? How many people have siblings here? Brothers and sisters. Can you be a better sibling to your siblings? Could you potentially be a better sibling? Right? Some siblings might be older sister, younger brother, guys bump heads, but let's put that to the side. Could you be a potentially better sibling? What's your next relationship? Your coaches, your teammates. Teammates are the most important thing because you guys run together. You guys are crushing miles together. So it's very important. It's not about the number one guy. It's really the 3rd and the 5th, the 5th, the 6th, the 7th man. Our sport is so beautiful. The sport of cross country is life. What you put in the sport is what you get back in return. I'm just speaking from experience. 5 years ago, I started coaching. Well, actually 7. 7 years ago, I came back from New York. I was living in New York. One of the best city runners in city history was a colleague of mine, Saeed Ahmed. Saeed Ahmed, as a sophomore, was national champion indoors. He ran 151 in the 800. National champion. And we was just thinking, like, why is there so much gaps? Why is it every 10 years we have one good kid, but we never get a team? We never get 4 to 7 girls to run cross country. So, Outdoor City Championship in 2014. My next door neighbor was a linebacker. He was a linebacker. His name was Jose Harry. He won the city championship with 13-minute 2-mile. 13 minutes he ran in the 2-mile. He's a football player. So every time he passed me, he's my next door neighbor too. He'd be like, look at me, he's banging on his chest. And I'm like, I'm infuriated. I'm like, 13 minutes? whirlwind, anything. So I asked the AD, I said, all right, we need to have cross country back in Boston. It's imperative. I'm like, kids are running, boys can even break 5:20 in the mile. Boys are running 13 minutes in the 2 mile. No one's making all states. Cross country is going to make the city better. It's going to make us stronger. So he was like, well, do you have a skeleton team? I was like, no, I don't. So I started asking different kids. So let me get into details. We don't have a conference similar to most people. So like if you live, let's say Winchester kids, you're in the Middlesex. Mascot, you guys in Northeast? Cape Ann, they're in a league. We don't have a league, so it's not like a league championship. We don't have multiple dual meets. So my first year, I just looked at a schedule, MSTC, and I tried to run every invitation. And I took kids that couldn't run a half a mile without stopping. My first year, my boys' team average was 20:30. I had not one boy break 20 minutes. And our first state meet, we were dead last in Division 1. You want to talk about defeatist? Like, dead last. Like, my 7 were the last 7 to cross the line. And my boys were all defeated. Like, defeated. So, right then and there, I had to put on my coaching hat and be like, all right, what are we going to do to become better as a team? So I started doing small instrumental goals, like how we can get better each time. So I took a step back, and this is where the value of camps come in. It's imperative that you guys continue to come to camps. When you're at Granite State, when you go back to home, if you live in Brockton, you live in Moscow, you live in Winchester, wherever you live, make sure that you tell your teammates, you tell your peers at school, hey, you need to come to camp, because camp is a great experience. By coming to camp, we went to a place called Granite Running Camp. I took my kids out there, and it was the first time I had boys like, Coach, look at the stars, right? Because we're in the city. We run on the streets. You know, we don't have dirt roads. So we're there now at camp, and they're around other schools, other kids, and they realize that, you know what? This kid is not that much better than me. He's just been running longer. There's no difference. So what we started to do was we just started running. Slowly but surely, I just started giving small goals. I wouldn't say, hey, go run 5 miles. I say, go run 50 minutes. What'd you do last week, Coach? I ran 48 minutes. Could we go 49 minutes? I just started giving instrumental goals, slowly but surely. Fast forward last year, we went from 4 years ago, 2059, my team average was, after twilight, I think 1703. Last year, for the first time in 40 years, the city we almost won Martha's Vineyard, we won the Big Wave Invitational. You know, so in 5 years, we transformed the culture. How that started was with my leadership. It wasn't my #1 guy, it was my 5th and 6th man. It was my 7th man. How she was working, how they were inspiring. Because the #1 kid is always the horse. What about the rest of the group? So that's why I'm going to challenge you. 5th man, 6th man, 7th man, you are just important as the #1. Capacity building. You guys are a team. What I wanted to bring to Boston was a team element. Unfortunately, a lot of my kids didn't know their fathers. Their fathers were either incarcerated, fathers were in jail, fathers died, some were adopted. So in some situations, I was the surrogate dad. I had kids that were like, Coach, I'm not going to the prom. I'm like, dude, you need to go to the prom. Kid goes to the prom, Coach, the prom was so late, I should have listened to you. Like, so those little moments that I was like, all right, you know what, it's worth it. Then my boys, they started running with each other their sophomore year. 3 years later, they're best friends. So the relationships that you're building right now, they're gonna last forever. You're never gonna forget this week, ever in your life. I'm like, I remember when I was at Granite Running. Yeah, this is important. You need to share that experience. You go back home to your communities. Leadership sometimes isn't just, oh, because I'm Sean Kay and I'm the fastest in the state. No. Leadership is how you lead by example, how you talk to your teammates. You know, it's so important, support. Support is huge. Back to you, 5th, 6th, 7th man. You guys are the nucleus of the team. You make this thing move. So, I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna say. I'm just gonna just start freestyling because motivation comes from within. How do you become a better person? You gotta challenge yourself. I have a former athlete here. Jemsley, come up real quick. Clap it up for Jemsley Catch. So, last year, usually, in any other school, he would have stayed running freshman, but we only have a team of 6. We have a team of 7, so I needed him to run up. Last year, Jemsley on paper ran 16:45. He was the fastest freshman in Massachusetts. Jemsley led by example. He listened to everything I said. He worked hard. He was a teammate. Even when he was catching seniors, because that's a lot. Seniors start to unravel. It's your senior year and a freshman. Boom, goes right by you. Guy starts freaking out. I started realizing I got to control emotions. A lot of us get on the line and we freak out. Like, oh my God, it's a state meet. I can't do it. You just eliminated your race. You just stepped on the course, and before even running a mile, you were like, I can't do it. I believe that you get on is about being mentally prepared. That's the motivation that comes from within. Because if you're not mentally ready, you're going to eliminate potentially running your best race. Because you get in there and you already psyched yourself out. I ask everyone, if you have a phone, pull out your phone. Does anyone have a phone? Pull out your phone. Open up your notes. And if you're a captain, open up your notes. I want you to write down everyone, and I want you to practice this. This is your assignment in your dorms, in your cabins today. I want everyone to write down their short-term and long-term goals. And the reason why I want you to have that exercise and communicate with your cabin, because we had to do that. We weren't going to run from the bottom of the league, the bottom of the state, if we didn't have long-term and short-term goals. The short-term goal last year would be very simple. We wanted to run Martha's Vineyard was our first invite. For years, we wanted to do Martha's Vineyard, get destroyed, never top 10. Last year, we were second. The goal going into the race was to be top 5 as a team. We were second. We lost to Woburn by 9 points, but one of my kids slipped. We would have won. So that started setting the tone. If we didn't start communicating as a team during captain's practice, what's the goal? What's the target goal? For us, last year was to do what Mascout did. We wanted to punch our ticket. We wanted to be the first team in 40 years to go to all states as a team. Because 12 years ago, there wasn't cross country in Boston Public Schools. Did not exist. Now, let me do you a favor. We have more kids in our district than your whole school system. We have 15,000 kids, and I can't put 7 girls on the line. I can't. As of right now, I can't. But now, the question is, am I not motivated to get 7 girls? I'm going to get 7 girls. Some of you freshmen, sophomores, mark my word. I'm going to have 7 girls in 2-3 years. I'm going to have a team. Because I am motivated. Because it comes from within. Because I know if Boston is a better team, Massachusetts is a better cross-country team. It's a better program. Because we're contributing to the whole. The whole thing that we call running. You hear the cliches, pay it forward? Guys, if you asked me in 2015 that I'd be here at Granite State talking to you, I'm like, what crap are you smoking? We're 136. We're the last team in the state. We didn't win anything. But what we did, though, we kept building piece by piece, layer by layer. Culture is everything, guys. Be transparent with your teammates. Don't sugarcoat anything. Someone needs to be the leader of the team. Someone needs to pull someone's coat aside and be like, hey, man, today's a big day. I really need you to run well. That's communication. Because sometimes, what I call them, they have their own little chat group that I am not involved in. I want them to communicate amongst themselves and talk about it. Because that's where the energy is at. The energy is in the pack. That's where the synergy is at. For some of you guys, you're going to be with each other for the next 3 years, 4 years. You're crushing miles across country. You're running indoor. You're running outdoor. You guys are like family. You guys know each other's like, you know what this kid likes, his favorite cereal, their favorite, who has a crush, you know everything. You guys are really, really family. So I challenge you to be transparent. Transparent. Do not sugarcoat, because communication is everything. If you might see one of your peers struggling, talk to your peer. We have some cardinal rules on my team. There's absolutely no way, no Jose, no bullying. That's why I need you guys to go back to your respective schools and do that. There's a lot of kids who walk around insecure. There's more kids insecure than the kids who are confident. Because they're like, I'm not fast as this kid, I'm not this kid. Sometimes it takes you or you to empower your peer, become a better person. We raise each other up. I became a better coach because I identify myself around other coaches. I questioned a lot of what I was doing at front. I'm like, man, how am I going to break in? How are we going to get into old states? How are we going to do this? Oh, my friend, Coach Bro, spoke on Tuesday. Wellesley's winning state title after state title. I'm not them. I used to beat myself up. Like, I'm not them. Then I took a step back. I said, wait, hold on. I have 7 kids. All 7 graduate, go to college. All 7 are running. I guess my average is 100%. So for every kid that came on my team, you went to college and ran, we're doing something. It takes time. I don't want to use the cliche, respect the process, but that is so true. Every year, we as coaches see it. Ask Coach Creeding, ask Coach Cooley. There's a kid that no one sees on the radar. There's a kid sitting in 30th right now that's going to be top 10 in the state. There's a girl right now. There's a girl somewhere in here. There's a boy somewhere in here. You're going to have an amazing season. But where did that come? It comes from within. Before it comes from your coach, before it comes from your assistant coach, before it comes from your parents, it comes from within. How do you tap into that zone? How do you reach in? Because it's so hard. Sometimes it's hard. In high school, it's like overwhelming, right? You got SATs, you're taking APs, you got this, do me. Guys, take a deep breath. Embrace the moment. Enjoy it. Because you can't get this back. This moment will surpass, but you will have memories that will last forever. That's why it's imperative to be transparent with your teammates. I can't tell you guys like, yo, this is what you're going to do to win the state meet, because I haven't done it yet. But what I can tell you, build team culture, yeah, this is what we did. We didn't do nothing special. My boys,